Wow, you came. I'm so glad. It's the new season. It's the summer season of Your Best You. Welcome. Come on in. I'm outside with my co-host. I'm Reverend Dr. Kathleen Kennedy.
And I'm Joan Kazmarzik, your co-host. Come on in. It's beautiful out here.
So you can hear the leaves rustling.
Yes,
We have Ruby here and Crystal's inside. So today is, as I said, the first show for the new season, but it is as well the crown chakra.
Chakra 7.
Chakra number 7. So I thought, well, chakra number 7, we've talked about it before. And I know you know I talk about the crown and wearing your top hat. And I put up on LinkedIn that the chakra number 7 is your bridge to the cosmos. So you can go over there if you'd like. You know, that's where I spend a lot of time. And I do tag Joan in, but she's not on LinkedIn. But I just do it out of graciousness. But, you know, she's not over there. And if you want to see Joan, you'd have to go over to Facebook. So she can share that with you. But for me, I'm mostly over on LinkedIn. And of course, I share this on the YouTube as well. I'm always grateful to Nutmeg TV and everyone there, Joni Suter, Brian Biggie, Nathan Duane. We're always so grateful for the work that you do in putting everything together. And I hope you're really liking some of the clips. I'm adding in some artwork just to give you some things to look at. And you can share it, or you can take a snap pic of it, you know, and you can just use it for your own meditations or remembering. I don't know if you remembered, but in last show, I gave you a mudra. Do you remember what it was?
Yes, I do. Because it was...
Tell the audience.
The mudra was to put your fingers together like this.
Like this. That doesn't really describe
well,
anything. All fingertips touching one another,
all
the same fingertips on both hands.
Yeah. All fingertips touching.
And what's the name of it?
I don't remember. Because then you had us do a really strange little thing, which was to walk them over one.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then walk them back over.
But what did I say about the legs when you're doing that?
Actually, I'm in the wrong position because I have my legs crossed.
No,
your legs should be
legs. When you're doing the mudras or any energy work.
Right.
Really.
Your feet should be on the ground.
Not should, but it's an invitation if you want to get the energy flowing and conduits and connected. So yeah, it's called the Hakini mudra. So that's the mudra. That do you remember what the name of it was?
What you just said, the Hakini?
No, but do you remember what it was? You know, it's kind of nickname.
No.
No, Joan doesn't remember that either. Well, I hope you do. The god of the forehead. Okay. And so that's your seer right here in the third eye. We can see, not just with what we see with our natural eyes. You know, when you hear from a spirit perspective, it's not really what's going on. What we see with our natural eyes isn't really what's going on. That's the illusion. So to go up to the 7th chakra, which is where we are today, and that's the bridge to the cosmos. Now again, as with every chakra, you don't want to be out of balance. You know, you can be so spiritually out of balance that you're no earthly good. You know, that you hear that's an old saying, right? So spiritual, you know, you're lost in the ethers. So grounding, and that's what Your Best You is about. We go 1 through 7, 1 through 7, 1 through 7. And once you're up at 7, where do you go?
Back down
to 1. But don't look at that as a negative. It's a positive. Whatever is gained in the moment of being in 7, and it's constantly moving. This is not plug, 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 unless, you know, that's how you want to move it. But it flows through us and up and down and around in rainbow colors. And I've talked about the aura photography, And in the aura photography, you can see your colors. I don't know, it's summer. I don't think you can see them. But it is summer, and you know what summer is. Fresh peach time, it's fresh peaches. Fresh peaches and nectarines. Yummy.
They're so sweet. They're so
Yummy. So I brought some fruit in for the summer. And like I said, it's just an outside in the, Chakra 7. I thought, how interesting, because this is a vision of mine. And I remember I kept sharing it with Joan, and Joan was resistant. And I said, it's interesting how a person could have a vision of what they want to create, and the other person can't see it. And Chakra 7 is about being a visions, your visionaries, your dreams, keeping all of that alive. So the point that I'm making is that just because you have a vision, it doesn't mean that the other person that you may even be living with or friends with or a partner with is going to have the same vision. And, they're not necessarily open to receiving your vision. If it's your vision, you have to manifest it. And then maybe partially along the way, they go, oh, I didn't realize it was going to look like that. This is Joan, for this. And then I knew as soon as she got in it, it would feel good, and she would have that aha relaxing. But, and she did. But with much resistance, okay? So the point is that when you have a dream and you have a vision, like I've had with Under Thunder Mountain and the book that I'm working on now, and the show, in the very beginning, and sometimes midstream, it's generally not until the end where people begin to see what your vision is, and then they can attach and move with you with that. So don't lose your dreams,
right,
or your visions because the others around you don't see it. They don't see it yet. You see what I'm saying? So hold on to your dreams. Keep manifesting your dreams. I'm all about that turtle slow, So you went up to 7. Now it's time to go down to 1 again and do the groundwork of whatever you got up here that came to you during a vision, a walk, a shower, a moment where you disconnected from the pushing hamster wheel energy, and you opened up the portal just for a moment, enough to receive something. And now you want to bring it to life. It can't stay up here.
No.
It's a wonderful place to be in Chakra 7. And to have that connection and that knowledge. When you know, don't you know? When you know, right?
Yes.
There's
yes.
no turning that around when you know what you know. You know what I mean. I know you do. So it all connects. And that aha, wow. And you can go, oh, I wish I'd known what I knew. If I'd known this then I would. But that's what your best you is about. Doing what you can do in that moment. Very fluid, very gracious, non-perfectionist energy for you to embrace and know that it flows. And you shouldn't ever be repeating the same way, always, all the time, because something starts to happen down here and the waters can start to get very stagnant. What are stagnant waters like?
Not good. Just
That's all you got to say, not
no,
good.
No, the stagnant waters are they're not going anywhere. They're not
slimy.
doing anything. They're slimy,
murky.
they're dirty.
There's no oxygen.
There's nowhere.
no life.
Yeah.
It is a dead pool. Okay.
Nothing
So,
is happening in it.
Knowing, knowledge. You hear me say it all the time. I'm 67. Cancer survivor, stage 3. Dropped the system of care, went alternative. 67. And through this whole wave of what we've just come through, I dare not even give it a name. I won't grace it with that. So, here at this point, I'm certainly not the same. I would hope not. I would hope I would have kept growing.
Okay. Yeah.
And that growth is a vital life force.
Yep.
You can tell a person when you see they've stopped growing. Even a tree, we're around them, they want to keep growing. As I said, even a cactus, it will keep growing.
Yep. It grows very slowly, but it keeps growing.
It will keep growing. Violet. Violet, violet, violet. It's a pretty name, isn't it? Violet, 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 violet. Violet, white light. Almost invisible. What do you like about violet?
Well, when you say violet, the first thing
Remember,
I think
we're
of,
outside, so you have to project.
I know. The first thing I think of when you say violet is I think of the little violet flowers. You know, the ones that are violets, or the myrtle. Myrtle is another one that's almost the same shade as this.
That's pretty. That's a pretty
It's
violet.
just- yeah.
Okay.
So I think of the flowers and how beautiful they are. Violet it sounds like a soft color.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very soft.
And it can be.
Yeah.
It can be very, very soft. It has a spectrum just like all of the other colors, that it has this joyful, almost pink, white light joy, but it can also be very solemn and heavy.
Yes, it can.
Violet can be very a dark purple, because we're going indigo, right? Indigo, violet.
Yeah.
And then into the white light, right? I saw the white light. You hear NDEs say
Right.
this all the time.
Yes, they do.
Because there is one.
Yeah.
There's a white
There's
light.
there's
a lot we don't
a lot
know.
of people that have said, that they had the near death experience, and yes, they saw the white light.
Right, and then they tried to explain it away as it's just some phenomenon of the brain, because science and spirituality have struggled for eons, even though I heard someone say, because it's funny about astrology and the tarots, but it was somebody asked one of the very wealthy people of our culture about it, and they said, "Oh no, millionaires don't watch or pay any attention to astrology or tarot. Only billionaires do." You see, smart man. You see, very smart man. Right?
That when you say that, didn't Ronald Reagan's wife consult with an astrologer all the time?
Yeah, that was big for our times. 'Cause
Yeah, that was
everybody
very big.
Really
Yeah,
freaked about it.
yeah.
So Chakra 7, it's kind of like the river of consciousness. It's our belief systems, it's our intelligence, it's our witness, it's our consciousness, it's our awareness. So when I say belief systems, people become very attached to a belief system. You see.
Yeah.
But a belief system is not the connection. The belief system is the structure, number one, that was created from the connection. I've had a connection. I shall build a structure now. I love us humans, don't you? I heard one of the young women, she's a rock performer, she was married to Elon Musk, her name is Grimes. I thought that's a lovely name. Hi, how are you doing, Grimes?
Yeah, right.
I'm Violet, nice to meet you.
Really.
I
think I like the name Violet a lot better.
But she's an artist, and she was saying she doesn't consider herself a human. that's part of the dinosaur brew. The humans, the new generation of humanity is like a techno-human. And that's certainly the future, you know. And she was, I don't know, married to Elon, you know, or what, you know. The crossing over of people and how they, you know, bounce off of one another in that area is always fascinating me. So, yeah, the, um, the new human, you know, and I've talked about how we, as we evolve, we have changed so radically from uh, our original,
The original humanoid
presentation of what, however
forms.
we've been
Yeah.
here on Earth, whatever this Earth has created us
created. Yeah.
as we've
Where we've come
co-created
along.
with
Yeah.
Earth. Yeah. So
As we've moved along the path.
yeah, we're moving along the path. That's right. We you know how far we get? 50 years, and then we go backwards again. We're not moving along anywhere, folks. We're on rinse and repeat. If you haven't noticed, it's a constant rinse and repeat. Awareness, back down. Awareness, back down. It's constant. It's the culture. It's not just happening on our level individually. It happens collectively. And, you know, even when we gain awarenesses, which we have throughout time, another generation could obliterate that.
Yeah, they could.
And it doesn't have to be, unfortunately, the people. It's the ones who are in charge, who then are able to moderate the people's behavior because they get into your heads
Yeah.
and they mess with your knowledge so that your belief systems and what you understand to be your truth
Is
has
altered.
been, yes, but I mean, it was done to us.
Yeah.
It's done to every generation. And the weird thing about it is, before the new generation is able to really receive what the older generation has, they're already putting them down because that's the program. It's designed so that it keeps the new generation hopefully as ignorant as the previous generation so they can flim flam again,
Yeah.
but on a new level. And there's no way to really transfer this knowledge, because I could say it to you and you could go, yeah, really, you know, that's not what's going on. Fine. I mean, you know, that's what this is all about. And for the people that see it, they can then weave their life a different way. But for others who don't see it, they go down the same path and,
Yeah.
you know, build the pyramid for the king and be grateful that you get to be buried by it or something. I don't know. But we do it on new levels. And so the more aware and the more conscious we become, of course, the critique will come in and kind of change that so that you can make fun of that. So now you hear a lot about the woke generation and what idiots they are. And, you know, so it's a twist, and it's designed so that you turn on that which is providing you with the newest upgraded information, because the system doesn't want you to do that. They want you chipped and dipped and processed and programmed and yesing and doing what's supposed to be done and be content with no money. That's the new paradigm. It's like, that's insane, folks.
It is.
It's insane. So, yeah, so here's a picture. You know, I did this little photo. I'm going to bring it up. Here, Joan, could you hold this paper
Sure.
together for a minute? I don't know if you remember, I was talking about the tree record. Remember the tree record?
Yeah.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
how the tree, when they slice it through the core, you have basically if you're a young person, you may not know what I'm speaking of, but we used to have these big records with the thing would come over, and, you know, sometimes they used to have to grind the
Way
record
back,
way
yeah.
back, but then, you know, we were able to plug it in and
Yep.
turn it on, and then you'd pick
We'd
up
have
the
to
needle and,
put it on.
you know, you would be blessed if you got one of the diamond needles or,
yes.
you know, whatever.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
was the best kind. And
But it would,
sometimes
the disc would go around, and thus the music would come out.
Right.
You know, or the little Aladdin's lamp, you know, story I would listen to, or whatever, and you could go into a different world. You see, I'm 67. 67 doesn't have to be old, broken down, and disrepaired and ready for the nursing home.
No, not at all.
Neither does 87.
Nope.
It really doesn't have to be. Okay, let me show you this. All right, this is, I don't know if it's going to show up, but it's basically, yeah, good, it is. Okay. What I did was, there's the crown right in the center. You see it? That's the crown with the peace sign. And then the rings around it, there's 7 rings. You see, I put 7 rings. Why do you think I put 7 rings?
For 7 chakras?
That's right. So the center chakra is my neighbor's home. You can hear the music. This is a daily. I mean, I hope that it's not a copyright infringement, because I'm not playing this music, right? So I'm just, aware that that's a problem for copyright. I don't even know who this artist is.
Nope. Neither
I'm
do
hoping
I.
it gets turned off pretty soon, because, I really don't want to listen to my neighbor's choice of music. But, welcome to the world. Okay.
Oh, yay. We turned it off.
Thanks. Well, I just don't want copyright. That's why I tried to talk over it.
Yep.
Sorry, folks, but So from the ground to the consciousness, and it's kind of the rainbow within us all, and I've talked about that before, how, don't let a particular culture or whatever co-opt what is yours. Don't let someone steal your dream. Don't let your visions be robbed. Don't let your joy be taken. Don't let someone tell you how to live your life. It's your life, and it's time for you to live your life, and you to live your life the best way that you can live it. And sometimes that means that the people around you won't like you or accept you.
Or they don't, because they don't understand.
Right, when I left the cancer care system and wouldn't let them give me the mastectomy, and I wouldn't take the cancer drugs, with stage 3 infiltrating cancer, I just wouldn't let them do it. There was something within me that said no. I created a lot of people that didn't like me. And then, of course, I had to take out all the drugs that they had been putting in me, which was why I realized I didn't want to do it, because of the way it was happening. And that process I had to do by myself, because I wasn't going to be supported, because I was doing something that the system didn't accept. So often, and don't become bitter, and you go through anger, you go through a whole cycle. It's grief. And grief is not 1 to 10 end. You go through everything. It rips your soul out. If you've been given drugs and then your drugs are taken away, you have to either find another drug to replace it, or you learn how to live without it, and you go through the process of that whole detoxification process, which does not fare nicely. It's very hard on your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. And if the people in your world don't have compassion and want to see it and understand it, it's going to be an antagonistic type of process. And that's something that happens with anyone who steps out of the box. That's the price paid. You're not the hero. The hero is not the one who says, I don't think this is the thing we should do. Right? That oftentimes becomes the scapegoat or the demon, but it's not the hero. So if you need to be pleased and feel other people love you and pleased by you, then doing things that are going to involve you stepping out and doing things that are going to make people turn is not for you. It's not your destiny. Don't try it. It's not for you. Wait till you get the aha moment from Spirit. When Spirit says to you, I am here with you. I will never leave you. I will get you through this. You are with me. I have you. Then you can start to make some changes. And you're not going to make them all at once. You can't.
No, you can't.
It takes a decade, 2 decades to change. It takes a long time. And it's from the inside out. So you have to heal all those hurts that you might not even know you had. It's so interesting. So that self-love and self-care concept that I created so long ago is now a popular concept, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled because it means that we're evolving and more people are taking the time to step out of the grid and take some time to take care of yourself. Look, money and making money is part of Chakra 1, you know. I always say rich or poor. I'd rather have money because that's the world we live in.
Yeah, it is.
You know, some people take it as gold digger, but that's just practical living, folks. You know, you want
In this
food, you can't even
Right.
grow it in your yard because there are no seeds and there's no sun and there's no this and there's no and you could never grow enough food to feed
No.
yourself.
No,
Please, the stories that people are telling one another now.
I know it.
So we are evolving together in a planet. I think the main thing, like what I think would be the most beautiful thing that if we could do as we evolve, would just be more compassionate with one another
Oh yeah, definitely.
as we evolve. Because what happens is when a person's evolving and they don't do things right, they get demonized,
Yep.
and then everybody's making fun of that person. They're in the
Because
process
they're
of whatever
different.
pain they're going through.
Because they're different.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been a quick show. I didn't want to cover a lot with the notes because I just basically wanted to let you know that grab your dreams, do your visions, but again, don't do something because somebody else is telling you to do it. Because if you don't have that spirit connection, that you know what you know what you know, don't do it.
No.
Don't do it
'Cause it's
because
not gonna-
somebody else tells you to do
Right.
it. Don't do it because it works for somebody else. And
That's
I think
not
that's
right
the
for you.
main thing
Yeah,
I didn't want to get all spiritual with the show today. I wanted you to know that you know when you know when you know. I know you know it. And then it's just working that and tuning that so that you become more tuned to that type of knowing. And then you can have that level of discernment where you can go, you know, I know that this is what they're saying. But for me,
But that's not what my heart is saying. That's
no,
not,
not
what my
the heart. We're
not
not
your
in
heart.
the heart.
But your whole soul, your whole being.
Your bridge to the
your
cosmos.
your heart, your soul, your spiritual something inside of you is saying, no,
or
this
yes.
is not right. Or yes.
And
depending
that
on-
is what we're going to end the show on. No or yes. Choose wisely because
Yes.
everything in life is a choice.
It is. Most certainly
And
is.
it's been a pleasure having you come into the gazebo and be a part of my vision here today. Of course, I bought the little roosters in here. He's just hanging out, you know. And be blessed and enjoy the summer. I'll see you soon because this is just Chakra 7 of the new season. Be well and, you know, remember, this is your life. Grab it. Thanks, Joan, for coming on again. And
Thank you.
thanks for hanging in there with another one of my visions.
Yes.
Visionary.
And thank you all for being here with us. We
All righty.
appreciate you.
We'll see ya.
Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Saybrook Fish House in Canton has been serving fresh seafood, chicken, and steak entrees for 34 years, offering 3 cozy dining room settings, a newly renovated pub with craft beer, wine by the glass, specialty cocktails, and a lighter fare menu. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Reservations accepted for parties of 2 to 42, and gift certificates are also available. The Saybrook Fish House, nestled at the crossroads of Route 44, 202, and 179 in Canton.